because I feel like growing up in Taiwan, it was a culture of soft sexism, safe sexism. Like, it wasn't very obvious. Like, yeah, sure, you have, like, you know, your parents like, hey, I want a grandson, make sure it's a son to pass down the family name. I'm like, okay, my last name is Chen. We really don't need any more Chens. I never really was able to point my finger on it when I was an actor, and I think I saw a lot more sexism when I got into comedy, and I didn't ever talk about it when I was growing up in Taiwan. So here I am, having these realizations in like my mid-30s. And so my friend said this one thing that kind of like clarified things for me, and I want to share it with you. So I have this one video where I compare the NBA to the WNBA when the New York Liberties won, and the video blew up on TikTok. And I am never on TikTok. I really don't care for the app. And I had 2,000 comments of angry Knicks fans or whoever that came after me. And so my friend was telling me, she was like, okay, let's just think about this. Who are the audiences going to support the NBA? Now you have the men who love the sport, right? Potentially they're worshiping the men. They think the men is so cool. You know, they want to be the men. They're impressed by the men. And then the women who are at these games, you know, potentially they're attracted to the men. There's worshiping, maybe fawning, maybe entertainment, right? Okay, so there's that. Now let's change it to the WNBA. Who are the audiences? Are the men there to worship the women? Do the men there want to be the women? Are the women there worshiping the women at the women athletes at the WNBA? No, it's a very different dynamic, and I was kind of able to see that in terms of comedy too, because we have the norm, right? The norm. So I saw this one clip where Trevor Noah was saying, which, by the way, hall pass, oh my God, so attractive. He was like, women, during your period, you shouldn't work. It's impossible to work. You should be having those days off. You're in so much pain. And then all the women were like, oh man, a man said that, right? And their hearts are melting. Now, when I'm talking about my period, the men around me are like, ew, gross. I'm like, okay, awkward, okay, don't know what to say now, way to make things weird. And so it's different because of the norm, and then going against the norm, and that's just different for the two genders. And I think that was so clarifying for me as someone who grew up with safe sexism. So all is to say, Caitlin Chen, I will be watching you. Congratulations. So excited.